Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see behind me, I've got a few parts here that I've ordered and I finally got in. I went to the store and I picked up some coolant, some oil, a battery for the car. I've actually got some connectors that I was needing, the distributor connector, headlight connector, and the coolant temperature sensor connector. All those wires were either torn or broken off. So I'm going to solder these on there today, and hopefully we'll get a first start in today. I don't really know what I'm going to run into once I go getting all this stuff put on and try to crank it over, but we'll see. So I've also got some headlights here. These were provided graciously by Novsight. I'm going to leave a link down in the description below for these. That was very helpful because I'm going to need to get the headlights operational before I go take it getting inspected. They do check the headlights. So let's go ahead and jump into here and get started on these this wiring stuff. Get the boring stuff knocked out first, and then we'll move on from there. Alright, before you go connecting the wires together, make sure you put your heat shrink on first, otherwise you'll be in a world of hurt having to redo it. Alright, with this all soldered together and wire loomed up, I'm going to fish this under here and go ahead and get these plugged in. Alright, we're going to jump over to the distributor harness here and do the same thing. Alright, with our distributor plug fixed, it's time to throw the distributor back on. Alright, next up is the headlight harness here. It looks like it was chewed up by something, so we'll get this new one soldered on. since we got the headlight harness fixed, we're going to go ahead and jump in here and swap these headlights out with the Novsight LED bulbs. These here are the 9005 headlight bulbs. One of them is going to be for the high beam and one of them is going to be the low beam. These are 9006. They threw in a couple extras here, keychain. I don't know what this is yet. I'll have to open it up and see. Nano traceless stickers. We'll see. Alright, with our headlights put in, we can't test them out without a battery, so I'm going to put this battery tray in and then throw the new battery in. Alright, as you can see, I've got power on the car. The headlights are very bright. I mean, even with the chrome in these headlights missing and the terrible shape that the headlight housing is in right now, they're still super bright. I definitely recommend these headlights. I mean, they're great color. It's not like the yellowish headlights, just that pure white color, which I like. Luckily for me, all these bulbs seem to work on the car as well, the side lights and things like that. So I definitely won't have to replace those for right now. And it looks like I'll be able to pass my state inspection with these headlights here. So definitely go check out Novsight, and I do appreciate them supplying me with these LED headlight bulbs. It's really going to help me out. And once I swap to the other headlights, some new headlight housings, they're really going to be extra bright. So let's go ahead and move on to the oil change, and maybe let's see about getting this thing started up. Here's our moment of truth. I'm gonna try to start the car. Okay, it sounded to me like the starter wasn't engaging. It was spinning around, but it wouldn't engage inward. I guess they call it the Bendix maybe. So I'm gonna pull this starter off and swap it with another one that I've got. Alright, I got the new starter put in. It took me a little while to get that last underneath bolt put in, but it's all bolted up now and the wiring is connected. So I'm going to throw this negative on here and let's try this again. Alright, we do have a check engine light, so I pulled the carpet back down here. As you can see, it's showing a code of 5, so I'm going to look that up and see what that is. Okay, so code 5 is actually the map sensor, which on this car, it's right here on the firewall. It's this 3-wire plug right here. I looked at it and everything looked good on it, but when you saw me start the car, this vacuum line here was disconnected, and so I reconnected it, but it still didn't solve the issue. So what I ended up doing was pulling this off of here, and there's just a little nipple here, and I ended up spraying some brake cleaner in there and cleaning it out. I'm guessing this right here was clogged up, but I'm gonna go ahead and start it up now, and I'll let you hear what it sounds like now that I've got this cleaned out. As you can see, the engine's running well, but it's got a little bit of a shake to it. I think it's because I don't have that front engine mount on there, and I think the rear transmission mount is actually a pretty bad shape, so we may end up having to get a new motor mount in the back. Alright, we had a huge success today. The car got started. It runs pretty good. I mean, we had a little bit of an issue with the map sensor, got it worked out. I think we'll run into a few little things like that because this thing's got a lot of miles on it. We'll have to clean it all up, but right now the goal is really just to get this thing on the road, get it licensed and titled, and then we'll bring it back here and start tearing it down I'll probably end up pulling this engine all the way out again to redo the engine bay. So really I'm just trying to get it temporarily running so I can drive it down the road and then drive it back to the house. So I really appreciate the headlights, the headlight bulbs from Novsight. Go check them out. They're some nice looking bulbs. I guess the next step here is really to get the axles put in, button up the suspension on here, and I noticed that the brakes are really mushy, so I'm going to double check the brakes, re-bleed those, make sure they're not leaking out any brake fluid anywhere, and then we'll just go from there. So stick around and we'll catch you on the next episode.